Hey YouTube, Mocha Knuckle Frank here. I'm back again. Uh, what I wanted to talk about today is basically a little bit of ramble, a little bit of rant, and some shout outs. And I also got a box. I got a box opening down there. I'm at 141 subscribers now, so just a couple shout outs. I'm not gonna do them all because God, I got too many people to go through. But there's Piping and Camping just subscribed to me, so thank you. Pipe Tree, 1 day ago, thank you. Thomas Durr, I know this guy. He never does anything with pipes. He's a friend of mine, so Tom, thanks for subscribing. I know you're a watch guy, more of a watch guy than a pipe guy, so he comes into our shop, he buys watches. Um, Piping artists, death, I think is what it's PC Daly was one I really wanted to mention. He's a new guy, and I remember when I was new and people helped me out. So give him a subscribe because we got to keep this thing going. Anyway, I was watching Old Dirty Piper the other day, and he likes to talk about he gets into a lot of the higher end tobaccos, the harder to find tobaccos like the esotericas and so forth. And he was talking about what was it? Germain's Rich Dark Flake. That's where my rant comes in. I was I just had an idea in my head, and I've got my phone here, so I'm on the internet almost 24/24 because of that. So I'm flipping around, and I did a search for Germain's Rich Dark Flake just to see. And lo and behold, I found a website that had it. Well, the website is in England, and I kind of remember hearing something about that they couldn't ship over here. And I don't understand. It's a silly thing. I don't I don't get it. They make the esoterica tobaccos come from England, but they can't buy it. And the Germains, they make it in England. They have it there. It's available now, but I can't get it. If any, the only way I contacted them finally after because I went in there and I went in the shopping cart and I got it all the way in my shopping cart. I got to the end of the line. When I got to the end of the line to pay for it, it said that restricted item, have to remove it from cart. So I emailed them and they confirmed that, which I already kind of knew anyways, that they couldn't send tobaccos over to the U.S. or lighters for that matter. But they did tell me that if I had someone that lived in England, I could have it sent to them and they could forward it on to me, which doesn't make no sense at all to me. If someone that lives in England can send it to me, why can't they? It's crazy, right? Well, it is what it is. So, anyway, if you know anybody that lives in England and you can have them forward something to you, the name of the place is called the Swan. I'll look it up, make sure I get this right. I'm gonna put a link down in the down in the bucket for you, just in case you're interested. I saved their contact just for the heck of it. It's called Black Swan Shoppy. Anyway, they're in England and they're way out there in the suburbs of England apparently because they were telling me that if I was ever in England, I could have it sent. The best way to do it would be to have the package, buy the package and have it sent to the hotel where I'm staying at, or where someone else I know is staying at. So maybe I get my buddy. He goes to England about once a year. He tries to get out there, and maybe I can have it get a package of it if they still have it then. I'm lucky enough, and have it sent to his hotel and have him just bring it back with him when he comes back in. So anyway, that's my rant. On to my my old box opening here. I got a package in the mail. Yesterday actually. I went, which is part of my other little show and tell that I got down there. Kind of. Where's my knife? Let me get my knife here. Oh. Hope I remember everything. I hope I remember everything I wanted to talk about. I probably won't because I'm a forgetful old fart. Oh, shout out to the Puffing Alien. Happy birthday. A lot of nice pipes you got there, and tobaccos, and check out the Puffing Alien. He's a good guy. He was the first one that I know of to give me a shout out. Although I've seen some other people that have given me shout outs over time. I can't remember them all, but his was pretty good. Anyway, as promised, that came from tobacco pipes, receipt and everything. And I bought these because somewhere in the future, I don't know when, but somewhere in the future, I was planning on a Yabo, and I told y'all that I would show you what I got. So I got two of them. Same pipes. I'm going to open them up so you can get a better look. Because I like the pipe and I wanted one. And I thought, well, you know what? They had a sale on them, at a good price on them, and I was going to get them while I could get them. So I would have one ready for when I get ready to do my my giveaway for some lucky YouTuber out there. So someone somewhere in the future, I don't know when, but we'll see how it goes. We'll get one of these. I'm just going to show you the one because they're both the same. Give you a good look at it. This is a Molina Zebrano. A nice sandblasting on there. I love the sandblasted pipes. I think the main reason I like the sandblasted pipes is because, you know, as hard as you try not to scorch the top of the bowl, some scorching occurs, and it just doesn't show up on a sandblasted pipe so prevalently as it does on a smooth. I'm careful now. I try to be very careful. What I learned, and I learned this from Mike over at Briar Blues, is to leave about a 1/4 inch below the rim of the bowl when you fill your pipe. Don't fill it all the way up to the top because tobacco expands when you light it. So if you fill it up, if you leave about a 1/4 inch distance away, like right up to where I got, like, well, here, let me show you with a. If you go like right up to there, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to get the right angle in here, and I'm not doing very well. And the light is not right, but anyway, if you go about a 1/4 inch below the rim, you're gonna, as it swells, you're gonna have less chance of you burning the top of your bowl, ruining your pipe, making your beautiful pipe look all nasty on top. Also, according to a lot of people, and I've used the trick too, if it does get a little bit of a scorching on there, to remove that scorch, a little bit of spit works really well, as gross as that may sound. So there are the pipes. One for me. I'm going to smoke one of these. I actually have got some Pembroke over here drying out right now. For after that dries out, that tobacco's a little bit on the dry side when you're smoking it, or rather on the wet side. So you gotta let it dry out. Let me set these down over here. And funny thing is that I had the package delivered to my workplace because I thought, well, I'll be back to work by then. Well, it came early. I was still on vacation, which was yesterday. I still got today left. That's it. So, being the person that I am, I can't wait to get my packages. I want them now. I don't want to have to wait. I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to go in and get the thing. And plus, I wanted to shoot this video. So I went down there. And I was surprised with something else. An old friend of mine that comes down there, he is kind of a, I guess he's a wheeler dealer or whatever. He doesn't smoke a pipe or anything, but he knows I do. He's the guy that I got that one, that straight little meerschaum that I showed a while back. I'd get up and show it, but I don't want to. It's way over there. And anyway, he had given me that one that I was given. Well, that was the one I had to play with a little bit to get the stem straight on. It was bugging me that the stem wasn't straight. I came up with a solution for that with a couple of little rubber washers, kind of bridge the gap and get the stem to set straight. So anyway, when he gave me that, I asked him if he had any other ones, because I know him and he gets stuff. Anyways, he said, "Yeah, I got some more." I said, "Well, I might be interested." I said, "I'd like to see him." So yesterday, when I went down there to pick up my package, he was in the back of the shop because he's a friend of ours and he hangs out. He's a watch guy too, so he hangs out around there. And he had all these pipes with him, all meerschaums, and I said, "Well, what do you want?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. You don't know nothing about pipes." So I said, "Well, let me do some research and find out what's a fair price." So I did my research, and this is one of them here. It's a nice meerschaum. I don't know if there's any way of telling if the stem on a meerschaum pipe is real amber or not. I'm kind of thinking not. It's just too nice looking. I don't know. I don't know amber from. I mean, it's got that amber look, but I don't know if it's real amber or not. If anybody knows, let me know. I mean, I know one thing. I'm gonna probably buy these, and when I get to the Chicago Pipe Show, I'm gonna take a couple of them with me and see if I can find an expert that can tell me. I don't think they are, but anyway, this is the other one. This is one of the other ones. There's no marking. I can't tell who's made them or anything, but they're nice meerschaums. They're brand new, or rather, they've never been smoked, anyways. That's the third one, and then there's this one here, which has just got an ordinary black stem on it. It looks like it's kind of frosted. I don't know if you probably can't pick that up, but anyway, it's got little sparklies in it there, I think. Anyway, this is like an Aladdin or something, I don't know. But there's the other one. And one more, this is the only one out of the whole group that I could keep the box too. The box is kind of nice. It's got a nice little flip lid on it, so I'll keep that box. He had this other one in there, and this one is the only one that came with a case, actually. So it's not marked or anything, but it has been smoked. It's been smoked by somebody, which I don't care. I was able to clean it up some. Cleaned out the bowl. The stem was clean. I ran a pipe cleaner through it, and it came out clear. So and I cleaned out the bowl best as I could. I scraped it out a little bit, I very carefully to get whatever caking there was inside, because there was some. And then I wiped it out with just water, just a wet paper towel to get some of the crud out. So so now my finger's clean instead of coming out all nasty and dirty. So anyway, nice little pirate pipe. It's been smoked. It's got some use on it, but I don't mind. So when I see him next, I'm gonna find out I'm gonna see what kind of a deal I can strike with him, and hopefully I'm gonna try to hang on to all these because I like them, and it will increase my meerschaum collection as well, because I'm a pipe nut. What can I say? I like collecting them. I like smoking them. I like collecting tobaccos. So there you have it. And I think that's about it. That's about all I really wanted to talk about today. I think I covered everything, other than all my subscribers, 141 of them though. So if I were to name them all though, I'd be crazy. Oh, cherry on top, he had asked me one day in a conversation, a little message he sent me. He said he wanted to know how I got into watch repair. So I'll ad lib a little bit more. I'll tell the more or less the story of how I got into watch repair. I'm 62 now, okay, and I've been doing this all my life. When I was 19 years old and poor and just a kid, and I was a dropout from high school. I didn't actually get my GED till I was like 48 years old. That's another story though. I I was looking for work, and a friend of mine was working down at a store called Precision Jewelers in downtown Chicago at 5 South Wabash, the Mallory Building. It's a big jewelry building. I'm sure there's some of you out there that probably know it. I bet Mike over at Briar Blues does. Anyway, he was all fired up about watch repair and that. And one day he went out to the owners, one of the owners' houses, because he wanted to learn how to repair Bulova Accutron watches. That's the one with the tuning fork in it. Well, later on, as the story goes on, I'm trying to chop this down a little bit because it's a long story. He had gotten a job in another part of the building doing the same thing, which was basically Precision Jewelers was a material house. We sold watch parts there. He got a job in another material house for a little better pay, and I was still looking for work. I couldn't find a job to save my soul because I was young and I was inexperienced. He told me about the place he was leaving, and he said, "Come on down, I'll introduce you to him." So I went down there. I met the owners, and it was basically back in those days. This is early '80s. It was hi, my name is Frank. Shake hands, and you know, I was looking for work, and then they were like, they were like, when can you start? I said, well, I can start right now. And come back tomorrow. And that's how I got my foot in the door. I got my foot in the door by shaking hands with the owner, and he liked me, and my buddy Phil recommended me. So I'm still friends with him. I've known him since I've known this guy since 1968 in grammar school. So that's how far we go back. He lives in Chicago now, and we still talk every now and then. But now we're both old men. So the job was basically filling orders for parts, watch parts. Well, you had to learn how to identify watches by the markings in them. So it started out basically with learning how to use an eye loop. Put an eye loop in, look at the watch, find the marking, and then identify it, and then go and look in a card system for the item number and the place number of where the part. And then they had a bunch of drawers and that, and you would look up. Anyway, I learned that, and one day I was sitting in the shop. We did watch repair too. The old man was a watchmaker, and an old-time watchmaker. And I was bored one day on a Saturday, and I was like, well, it was no business at all. Nobody was coming in. So watchmakers have a tendency of collecting a lot of junk, a lot of old watches and boxes and shoe boxes and stuff, because they buy other watchmakers out sometimes and so forth. Anyway, we had a whole box of these old junker watches, some cheap ones and what have you. And I was like, well, you know what? I said, I'm bored. Can I tinker a little bit? And they were, sure, go ahead. Have at it. So I pulled an old watch out of there, and I commenced to taking it apart. Well, then I asked a few questions about how to take a watch apart. Well, rule number one, when you're taking a watch apart, you want to let the mainspring down, because mainspring-driven watches, if there's power in them and you try to unscrew things are going to explode on you. So I learned how to do that, and I learned how to take the watch apart, and I just kind of kept fooling with it, and here I am today. Now I've learned how to. I've just learned from doing and from talking to others, and I didn't go to school for it or anything. I just kind of picked it up over time, and there you have it. That's your story, Cherry. If you really want to know, I hope you'll watch this. Because you know, like I said, and I told you in the email or the message, it's kind of a long story. So that's the condensed version of the long story. If you want to know more, you're going to have to catch me out at the Chicago Pipe Show in May and bend my ear on it. So with that, I will say thanks for everybody that subscribes. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Uncle Frank is signing out. Bye-bye, all.